John Krafcik. I'm the president and CEO of Hyundai Motor America.
Here in Las Vegas with Warren Brown from the Washington Post, and we've got a couple of questions that we're going to ask you because it's a difficult time in the market. Between 600 and 650,000 cars will be sold in March.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that.
Joanne and Warren, it is no other word than horrible. That's the retail forecast for the month that we're coming up with 600 to 650,000 cars, very similar to February. And usually we get a big seasonal lift in our industry, right, going from February to March. But this year, folks are determined, it seems, to stay on the sidelines. We see people pushing off automobile purchases. There's still lots of concerns about the economy, and we're seeing continued concern again. The primary motivation for going to the sidelines is, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job. I'm very uncertain about my own personal economic future.
Which speaks right into your assurance program that Warren had some questions about.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be working well. As I think one of the people told me, the new high is flat, flat is the new high.
Flat is the new up. Yes,
yeah,
we've been saying flat is the new up. If you can hold your sales volume in a market like this one, and not just in automotive, but in any sector, if you can hold your volume, if you can hold your top line revenue in an economy like this one, you're doing well, because that means you're growing share, right? So our share, calendar year to date, 4.1%. Best we've ever done was 2008, full year share of 3%. So that's huge for us. And if you look where we were last January, February, it was on the order of 2.4. So we're 70% share increase during this period, but our volume is flat year over year, and that's why we say flat is the new up.
It's interesting because no one has really taken advantage of the assurance program, and yet your sales are up. Is that Hyundai Corporation that's up, or Hyundai itself? Because when it's Hyundai Corporation, that involves Kia as well.
Yeah. So all of the things I've been sharing are just Hyundai brand, right? Excluding Kia, which we operate really completely separately in the U.S. from a sales and marketing point of view. So, and assurance has definitely been a factor, although maybe not as big a factor as some might think. We've done a lot of research since the program has been in market. We didn't have time to do it during the development phase. We put the product together in very short order and just had a sense that this was going to be something that resonated in these times. And I think what we're finding is, roughly speaking, a 10% sales boost. Now our share is up considerably more than that. And so
the assurance program, because you had said that teenagers, you're expecting quite a few teenagers to like the Hyundai Genesis and to have their parents co-sign for them. If the teenager signs up and he's got it and they have a job, what happens if the teenager loses their job? Does it then become the parents' obligation, or do they get to be part of the assurance program?
Yeah, that's a pretty specific question, and I know it's well handled. I believe how it works is that you delegate one of the co-signers. For example, I think if the parent is really essentially signing for the car, then if the parent lost the job, then they would assume the assurance benefit.
How did Hyundai Assurance and that sort of thing, did somebody just finally figure out, the problem is consumers are scared?
Yeah. To our marketing team at Hyundai Motor America, it's a small band of passionate marketers led by Joel Uwanek, our Vice President of Marketing. During these focus groups in the fourth quarter last year, and the economy wasn't completely off the rails then, but things were starting to get bad. But unemployment wasn't the big problem that it was, in terms of the actual statistics. But his incredible insight in talking to these people was, and he was really going down this line. He was trying to understand why, with the most incredible deals in automotive industry history, why more people weren't buying cars. And it wasn't obvious at the time that it was fear of job loss. But in this direct contact with consumers in these focus groups, that's what he heard time and time again. There was a little bit of serendipity that was involved. At about the same time, the company that we ended up partnering with, EFG.
What is EFG?
It's a large consumer insurance and financial products company. And they have a subsidiary called Walkaway, which had been selling this product in Canada for some time to dealerships up there. So at about the same time, our marketing team is having these insights. Walkaway, this group of EFG, had approached our captive finance arm, Hyundai Motor Finance, about this product. And Joel had challenged HMFC for some ideas. Hey, what can we do to help sell more cars in an economy like this one? HMFC, the Hyundai Motor Finance Group. Yeah. And they had just had this meeting. And suddenly the pieces came together, as often happens. It's a little bit of luck and serendipity and happenstance. And what's different about Hyundai and our culture is from the time of our first meeting with Walkaway, it was 36 days until we were on the air with the program during the NFL conference games just after the first of the year. We call that Hyundai Speed.